In the beginning, it seemed harmless enough. A ship floating in our atmosphere, large enough for us to see from the surface, small enough for us to assume it wasn't a threat. The real problems started long after the visitors showed themselves to us. We always thought when an alien showed up, it would be bombarded with nukes and missiles. That was wrong. The world governments already knew. Contact was already made. The silence in the streets put everyone in a state of unknown, an edge of panic. Then the first announcement came. They weren't here for war. They were here to trade and learn of our species. That was a half-truth. They already knew everything they wanted to know about us. They intercepted all of our communications, our broadcasts, all of the signals bouncing all over the planet. The first change, the reorganization of our world governments, was abrupt, yet somehow smooth. There were no more separated countries or borders. All of humanity was now under one banner. We became Earth kept its name in our history, but in order for us to be accepted into their realm, the future, we had to acclimate to their system. Everyone was abuzz about how fast our medical technology was progressing. The new life expectancy was 250 years. That's time and a half over our best. Our scientists loved it. Our doctors became outdated. The technology they allowed us to use removed the need for us to do most everything for ourselves. It was fantastic. Automated production of food, water, medical equipment that could diagnose, treat, and repair our DNA at its core became the new normal. For decades, things were great. The single ship stayed in orbit the entire time, observing the changes. Other ships from many different species began to frequent Terra, Earth, its name forgotten in the marvel of our new existence. We achieved something incredible without their help. We made a vessel capable of traveling the stars, hidden from our benefactors' view by those who were still skeptical as to their reason. This was the first despicable act of humanity. The vessel was aptly named Prometheus Pioneer. The ship was released into the sky during the night on the opposing side of the observer's orbit. They noticed anyway. They warned us to turn back. We were not ready for what lay between the stars. They might have been right. However, human curiosity is all-consuming. We didn't listen. The vessel, Pioneer, was fast and light by most standards. The launch was quick enough that the observer couldn't react quite fast enough. Fast enough that their true nature was observed. They were slowly draining our star, our sun. They needed it for fuel, for their own dying star. We couldn't accept that they had deceived us, that they were going to end us. We, of Earth, knew what needed to be done. The first missile left the ground only minutes after the SOS broadcast was sent from the Pioneer, aimed straight for the observer. It was stopped short by a shield of some sort. The explosion lit the sky, beautifully, painfully. Those who did not trust had not idly sat by, but it was too late. The second volley of projectiles to fire were far more advanced and contained molecular nanites. The shields didn't deflect those as well. The ship began to crumble. We humans thought it was a one battle, for the Pioneer had a large payload of these as well. We didn't expect what came next. The shock of the sight, the sheer size of the vessel that was orbiting our sun. Even if the missiles were effective, the chance of degrading enough of the vessel to cause damage was slim. We couldn't back down. Not after the first volley, especially not having destroyed their vessel in our sky. The Pioneer broadcast feed was publicly released immediately after the realization of what was happening. The message from the Sunkiller came shortly after that. You should have stayed ignorant, people of Terra. We would have spared many. The brightest, the most dedicated, the best of you would have lived on with us. War was inevitable, winning it, impossible. One single beam left the ship aimed at Terra, at Earth. We, the survivors of the Pioneer, are all that's left. Luck had it that we could make it to a neighboring star system. We wonder deeply how long until this one becomes theirs too.